You've been told your whole life that if you just work hard, everything will fall into place. That success, wealth, and freedom are the natural rewards of effort. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Hard work alone will not make you rich. Think about it. How many people do you know who've worked themselves to the bone, year after year, only to end up tired, broke, and disappointed? Look around: janitors, factory workers, bus drivers, farmers. These are some of the hardest working people on the planet. If sweat and sacrifice were the true currency of wealth, they'd be billionaires. But they're not. And that's the mystery I want to unravel with you today. Because the real game isn't about how much effort you put in, it's about whether your effort is aimed in the right direction. The difference between wealth and struggle often comes down to strategy, mindset, and the rules of money that schools never taught you. And here's the kicker: most people are unknowingly playing our rules designed to keep them trapped. They're exhausting themselves on a hamster wheel while this elect you live free, building empires. So the question is, are you willing to step off that wheel and finally understand why the old advice of just work harder has been one of the biggest lies ever sold to you? Because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why hard work isn't enough and what you must do instead if you want to break free. And here's my challenge for you: don't just listen. Test everything I say against your own life. If you do, I promise the next few minutes could change the way you see success forever. Let's strip away the illusion. Hard work is honorable, yes. It builds character, it teaches discipline, and it earns respect. But wealth doesn't automatically bow to effort. If it did, the hardest laborers would be the richest among us. Instead, who owns the construction company? Who owns the farm? Who signs the checks for the truck drivers who haul goods across the country? It's not the ones sweating under the sun or pulling night shifts. It's the ones who learned how to multiply effort through ideas, systems, and leverage. Here's what schools never explained. Money doesn't reward labor, it rewards value. And value is measured not just in hours, but in impact, in scalability, in the ability to solve problems for many at once. Think about it. A surgeon may work fewer hours than a factory worker, but each hour carries enormous value, saving lives, skills that took decades to master. An author may spend months writing a book, but once it's published, that same effort can pay dividends for years without new labor. A business owner can build a system once, and that system continues to earn even while they sleep. That's the difference between hard work that chains you to survival and smart work that unlocks freedom. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying you can skip hard work. No great success comes without it, but the type of work matters. If all your effort goes into trading hours for dollars, you'll always be capped. The secret is to shift from effort-based income to leverage-based income. And here's the turning point. The people who become truly wealthy understand something that the majority never do. They stop asking, how hard can I work? And start asking, how can I make my work multiply itself? That single change separates the endless grinders from the true winners. Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll dive into the hidden principles of wealth, the patterns that the wealthy quietly follow while the rest of the world blindly believes in the myth of sweat alone. Here's the truth no one bothered to tell you. Wealth isn't built on effort alone. It's built on principles, invisible rules that shape who thrives and who barely survives. Let's break a few down. 1. Leverage beats labor. If you're the only one doing the work, your output is limited by the hours in your day. But if you use leverage through people, technology, investments, or media, your effort compounds. A single YouTube video can reach millions. A single invention can serve generations. A single business system can replace thousands of hours of labor. That's leverage, and wealth follows it. To ownership trumps employment. Working for a paycheck may feel safe, but it's also the slowest path to freedom. Ownership of ideas, businesses, properties, even intellectual property is what builds lasting wealth. Employees help run the game, but owners design the game. 3. Money flows to solutions. Every wealthy person became wealthy by solving a problem for many. The bigger the problem, the bigger the payoff. Think about it. Someone created a phone that fits in your pocket and connects you to the world. That solution made them billions. Someone else designed medicine that saves lives. That solution created entire industries. Money chases solutions, not sweat. For mindset is the foundation. Perhaps the most overlooked principle. How you think about money determines how it behaves around you. If you see it only as something to be earned and spent, it will always slip away. But if you see it as a tool, as a servant that can multiply itself, then it begins to work for you. Now let's make this real. Picture two people starting at the same place. One works 60 hours a week, grinding every day, saving a little, hoping to retire with enough to survive. The other works just as hard, but after hours, they study wealth principles. They invest in skills, they learn to build assets, they take calculated risks. 10 years later, the first person is exhausted and still broke, while the second has systems that earn money even while they rest. Same effort, different principles. And here's the unsettling part. If you ignore these principles, no amount of labor will save you. You'll spend a lifetime climbing a ladder that was leaning against the wrong wall. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to start applying these principles in your own life so that your work actually builds wealth instead of just paying bills. Here's the beautiful part. The gap between hard work that traps you and smart work that frees you isn't as wide as it looks. It's not about throwing away effort, it's about redirecting it. So, how do you start? Let's break it down. Step 1, redefine wealth. For most people, wealth means having more money than bills. But true wealth isn't just money, it's freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choices, freedom to live on your own terms. If you're working 70 hours a week and have no time to breathe, that's not wealth, it's just survival in disguise. Step 2, shift from income to assets. Every dollar you earn is a soldier. You can spend it on comfort today, or you can train it to fight for you tomorrow. Assets like real estate, investments, online businesses, or intellectual property turn those soldiers into an army that keeps working while you rest. Step 3, invest in your skill set. The marketplace rewards skills that solve problems. The reason some people learn 10 times more is not because they work 10 times harder, it's because their skills create 10 times more value. Learn skills that can't be easily replaced: communication, leadership, creativity, technology. They become the engine of your wealth. Step 4, build systems, not shackles. Too many people think being your own boss means freedom, but if you're working 16-hour days in your own business, you just built yourself a different kind of prison. A true wealth builder asks, how do I design this so it runs without me? That's how businesses become empires. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's too late for me. I'm past 50, the window has closed. But here's the truth, you're in the perfect position. You have wisdom younger people don't. You've lived, you've seen what doesn't work, you know the value of time. That perspective can help you leap further in less time. If you're willing to act, I've met people who started building wealth in their 60s and enjoyed decades of freedom. I've seen others cling to the work harder myth into their 80s and never escape the grind. The difference wasn't age, it was mindset. And this is where the shift happens. Because once you realize that wealth is about direction, not just effort, you stop playing the game like everyone else and you start designing a life that's untouchable. Here's the truth you need to carry with you. Hard work is not the enemy, but blind hard work is a trap. The people who stay put aren't lazy, they're misdirected. They pour their energy into buckets full of holes, never realizing that their effort could have built rivers instead. Wealth doesn't demand that you stop working hard. It demands that you start working smart. It asks you to pause, to think, to design instead of just react. Because once your work is aligned with leverage, ownership, and value, you stop chasing money and money starts chasing you. Imagine this: instead of spending your life running on a treadmill of bills, you build systems that work while you sleep. Instead of measuring your life by hours worked, you measure it by impact created. Instead of asking, how much can I earn today? You ask, what can I build that will serve tomorrow? That's the wealth shift. That's when life changes. And here's the secret nobody tells you: success isn't about adding more to your plate, it's about choosing differently. One decision, one mindset shift, one refusal to keep following the herd can transform the next 10, 20, even 30 years of your life. So don't just leave this video thinking, that was inspiring. Take one principle, one action, and put it into practice this week. Start small if you must, but start. Because once momentum begins, it has a way of carrying you further than you imagine. Now, if you're ready to push even deeper into the mindset that makes all of this possible, there's one more video you can't miss. The untouchable mindset starts with one choice. This will show you how mental toughness and clarity can protect everything you're building and keep you unstoppable. Remember, wealth isn't just about money, it's about mindset. And your next breakthrough is waiting. This is Wisdom Recorder, your knowledge source. If this message resonated with you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs it. Because change begins when wisdom is passed on.